Why airlines are always on the brink of collapse. Air travel has never looked busier. Airports are overflowing, planes are packed to the last seat, and airlines are charging for everything from baggage to a bottle of water. From the outside, the industry appears to be a goldmine powered by billions of passengers moving across the globe every year. Yet behind the glossy advertisements and frequent flyer programs lies a shocking reality: most airlines are only one bad month away from financial disaster. History is filled with famous carriers that vanished overnight, despite full cabins and loyal customers. How can businesses that handle so much money be so fragile? The truth is that aviation is one of the most difficult industries on Earth. Airlines face costs that never stop, even when planes sit on the ground. Fuel prices can explode without warning. A single technical problem can disrupt thousands of flights, and fierce competition forces companies to sell tickets at prices that barely cover expenses. Add global crises, environmental pressure, and mountains of debt, and you get an industry permanently balancing on the edge. Flying may feel routine to passengers, but for airlines, it is a daily fight for survival. Understanding why this happens reveals how a booming industry can still live in constant fear of collapse. Let's watch. 1. Profit margins. So thin. They almost don't exist. Airlines may generate billions in revenue, but very little of that turns into real profit. In a good year, the global airline industry earns only a few dollars per passenger, less than what many people spend on airport coffee. Ticket prices feel high to travelers, yet most of that money disappears into unavoidable costs: aircraft leases, airport fees, staff salaries, fuel, maintenance, and taxes. Unlike digital businesses, airlines cannot scale cheaply. Every extra flight requires another plane, another crew, and more fuel. Competition forces carriers to keep fares low, and passengers choose price over brand almost every time. Even when planes are full, an airline can still lose money if costs rise slightly. This means the industry lives permanently on the edge, celebrating profits that would be considered failures in almost any other sector. 2. Fuel and environmental costs. Keep the ground shaking. For decades, fuel has been the single biggest wild card in aviation. Oil prices move according to wars, politics, and global speculation, none of which airlines can control. Tickets are sold months in advance, so when fuel jumps suddenly, carriers cannot immediately pass the cost to passengers. Hedging strategies help some airlines, but often turn into expensive bets. Now, a new challenge has joined traditional fuel volatility: environmental pressure. Governments and regulators are pushing airlines to reduce emissions, invest in cleaner aircraft, and use sustainable aviation fuel that can cost several times more than normal jet fuel. Passengers want greener travel but rarely want to pay higher fares for it. Airlines are caught between climate responsibility and economic survival, adding another unpredictable weight to already fragile finances. 3. A business built on mountains of fixed costs. Few industries are as inflexible as aviation. An airline's expenses continue even when planes are empty. Aircraft leases must be paid every month. Highly trained pilots and engineers require constant salaries, and strict maintenance schedules cannot be postponed. Airports charge for gates and landing slots whether a flight is profitable or not. Unlike a factory that can slow production, an airline must keep operating to maintain its network. Cancel too many routes, and it loses valuable airport rights to competitors. This rigid cost structure means that a short drop in demand caused by a recession, bad weather season, or political event can wipe out years of earnings. Flexibility, the key to survival in most businesses, is almost impossible in aviation. 4. Debt is the industry's lifeblood and its curse. Modern jets cost well over $100 million each, so airlines depend heavily on loans and leasing companies. Expansion, fleet renewal, and even daily operations are financed through complex debt structures. When interest rates rise, the burden becomes crushing. Many airlines are still paying for aircraft ordered during optimistic times, while new economic realities make those planes harder to fill profitably. The pandemic added another layer of debt as governments and banks kept airlines alive with emergency funding. Now those bills are coming due. Even healthy passenger numbers cannot quickly repair balance sheets loaded with obligations. An airline can appear busy and popular while quietly drowning under financial commitments made years earlier. 5. Competition turns flying into a commodity. Travelers rarely choose an airline because they love the brand. They choose the cheapest ticket. Price comparison websites display fares side by side, reducing complex global operations to a simple number on a screen. Low-cost carriers have trained the public to expect ultra-cheap flights, forcing traditional airlines to copy their models. Services that once justified higher prices, meals, baggage, and seat selection are now sold separately or removed entirely. New airlines enter the market during good times, adding more seats and pushing prices even lower. Governments often protect national carriers, creating uneven playing fields. The result is a race to the bottom where airlines fight each other for market share instead of building sustainable profits. 6. Operational chaos is incredibly expensive. Running an airline is like conducting a global orchestra where one missed note can disrupt the entire performance. Pilot shortages, air traffic restrictions, spare parts delays, and sudden weather changes can trigger a chain reaction of cancellations across multiple cities. Every disruption drains money through passenger compensation, hotel accommodations, meal vouchers, and costly rebooking onto rival carriers. Training a single pilot takes years and enormous investment, so airlines cannot simply create new crews when demand surges. Maintenance issues ground aircraft instantly, yet lease payments and airport fees continue to accumulate. A minor technical fault in one major hub can ripple through an entire network, delaying flights on different continents by the end of the day. Passengers experience these problems as frustration, and wasted time airlines experience them as relentless financial bleeding. In today's connected world, travelers are far less forgiving, and social media can transform one operational failure into a worldwide public relations crisis within minutes. Conclusion: a beautiful but brutal business. The next time you sit in a crowded airport or complain about the price of a ticket, remember the fragile machine working behind the scenes to get you into the sky. Airlines may look powerful, but they operate like tightrope walkers above a financial cliff. Every flight is a gamble against fuel markets, weather, politics, and human error. A single storm, recession, or mechanical issue can erase months of hard-earned profit. Yet despite these dangers, the industry keeps moving millions of people every day, connecting families, businesses, and entire economies. This paradox is what makes aviation both fascinating and terrifying. Airlines must invest billions in technology and safety, while competing in a market where passengers reward only the lowest price. They carry the weight of strict regulations, environmental expectations, and debts that stretch decades into the future. Survival requires constant reinvention, brutal efficiency, and sometimes painful sacrifices. Flying has become ordinary for travelers, but for airlines, it remains an extraordinary challenge. The fact that so many planes take off on time every day is almost a miracle of coordination and courage. The sky may feel calm from a window seat, yet beneath those wings, the industry is always fighting gravity of a different kind, the gravity of economics. Let us know in the comments what you think about why airlines are always on the brink of collapse, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating content on our YouTube channel.